What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, apparently Chicago rapper King Lil J, aka Lil J Double O, has been arrested and charged with a gun crime, and he's allegedly being held on a parole hold and will still stay behind bars until his bond hearing, right? When I first heard this news, was I shocked or surprised? Absolutely not. Right? But it is extremely sad and unfortunate for the young brother. Young brother just came home about 2 to 3 months ago from doing like a 7-year prison stint, right? Was locked up for 7 years. That's a long time, right? A month or 2 months in jail is a long time. So 7 years, a lot has changed in my life in 7 years. So being locked up for 7 years, man, that's just, I know it ain't a good feeling, right? He came home, he was feeling good. He was making waves with the music, getting a lot of views. He getting booked to do interviews. And I know they were paying that brother handsomely for interviews because he was a key factor in the drill movement at its height, right? When the drill movement was at its height in 2012 to like 2015, around that time, King Lil J was a key factor. He was a key individual in the whole drill scene, right? Looked at as the opposite side of Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and Lil Reese and all of them. It was a guy from the other side giving his perspective on things, and people wanted to hear what the other side had to say as well, right? So him coming out of jail, people were looking like, okay, he done did all his time. Let's see what he got to offer in the music scene. His music started buzzing, started making headlines, so on and so forth, doing the interviews, all of that. And so to see that he is back in prison after being out for like 3 months, it's extremely sad, y'all. Like, that system is an animal, right? And you never want to get in that system in the first place. But once you get out, you don't want to get right back up in there. You don't want to ever get back in there, right? I don't know nothing about being in the system, but I have family members who have been in that system. And once they got out, they was like, ain't no way they want to go back to that, right? It's nothing like having your freedom in the real world. Especially when you have your freedom and you got something going for yourself, when you're talented, you got a way to earn income at a significant level. You don't want to be in jail. You can't do nothing for your people in jail. You can't do nothing for your children. You can't live the life you want to live when you're behind bars. So it's sad to see that, man. But y'all, being a felon in possession of a firearm, like, that ain't no joke. That ain't nothing to play with. That ain't no joke, man. I don't know the particulars of the whole situation, but again, it's extremely unfortunate, man. This is a reminder to the young brothers out there, man, that when you escape unbelievable circumstances that could potentially lead to your demise, you have to show maturation. You have to get rid of your ego so you won't end up back in prison or unfortunately end up in a line of fire somehow, whether it be prison or something worse. You know what I mean? And like I said, the brother is enormously talented. So it's sad, to see, a brother get out of jail and then come right back in. But however, I say I wasn't shocked because, and this is no shot to the brother. I could see the type of energy that he was on. Since he was locked up, of course, he was locked up. Individuals that he was into it with were saying certain things about him, putting certain stuff on his name. Certain individuals were dissing people that were close to him. So he came out of jail on that same type of energy, taking it up a notch. And I can watch a little bit how he was moving in the interviews and stuff he was saying. And unfortunately, his aura seemed to be of the same ilk that it was when he first went into prison, right? He seemed to have that same aura. And that's when you get out of prison, you got to shake whatever aura you had to get up in that joint. Because if you don't, you're going to end up right back in there. It has to be some type of growth. You got to elevate above that, because all that's going to do is lead you right back to that system. And they want you to be back up in there. They counting on recidivism to be high, right? So you got to do whatever you got to do to stay up out of there. You got to develop a different mindset, because once you leave that hellhole, you got to want better for yourself. You got to want better for yourself. And the thing about this is, man, for some individuals, after they leave jail, they say, nah, I can never play with my life like that. I can't never put myself in position to ever go back there, right? And then you have some other individuals that once they leave prison, they start thinking, man, I would have never got up in here if I would have moved a little smarter in that way. If I'd have thought it through a little bit like this, if I'd have moved smarter, if I would have did some criminal stuff a little bit smarter, if I would have been a little more slicker when I did that, right? You got some individuals that try to become a better criminal when they get out of jail rather than trying to revert from old habits and old ways. And Unfortunately, for some reason, since Lil J's release, he strikes me as the latter of those two, right? A guy that feel like, you know what, I'm on that same type of time. I'm on bully time because I'm pissed off that them dudes were saying this and that about this, that. I'm getting on all that with everybody, and they seem to be on that type of energy. And I understand when you upset and you upset at what's been said about you and all this and all that, but you still gotta move. You gotta move a certain way, man. And again, he just seems to have a similar type of attitude. And again, brothers gotta understand that when God give you a second chance at life, you gotta leave that stuff alone. You gotta leave that stuff alone, man. Like I said, when he came out of prison, he was heavily dissing opposition. He's on Instagram Live talking about he got weapons, this, that, and the third, and that's just not a good thing to do to keep you out of the way, keep you away from the long arm of the law. He's an immensely talented brother with a gift to make music, and I think that alone should just focus on the music and don't focus on the dissing so much, man. I think all the Chicago rappers got to stop that dissing, because all that's going to do is, and granted, no matter if people stop dissing today, people can start making gospel music. People still going to have some of these enemies, and they never going to forget certain things that were done or said, right? And it's still going to be what it's going to be when those individuals see each other, right? But at the same time, the antagonizing has got to stop on both sides, right? Because maybe Lil J may have felt that he needed those weapons because of, certain antagonizing lyrics that he may have said in a song, and he really didn't care about it. He was willing to stand on it, but you put yourself in a bad position, when you dissing so heavily, you got to carry weapons. Well, you don't have to, but you may feel like you have to, right? But this is the thing, though. It's a double-edged sword, because some individuals may still, even if he was a changed man, some individuals may have still been like, you know what? I remember when he said that back in 2013. I remember when he did that back in 2014. I remember when he did that right before he got locked up in 2015. And they may be still on that, right? But I think, when you're dissing heavily, it puts extra paranoia on you a little bit to say, you know what? I got to be armed at all times. But the way to do that is, brother, just hire security. Hire security. Is nothing wrong with that. Keep security around you. If you feel like your life is in danger, and you first stop the dissing too, you know what I'm saying? That could also help. But again, these are street dudes that had real street business going on. They were real active in the street even before he went to prison. So he still could have had paranoia from that. And if you're paranoid that your life may be in danger, keep security around you. It ain't no sucker move. It ain't no weak move or whatever. It ain't no coward move. If you was really like that, everybody that know you for being like that, you don't got to keep proving that you like that over and over again. People know what you've done. People know whatever your name meant. They know what type of business you stood on. Leave it at that. You out of prison. You got a family. You got children that can take care of. Why not hire security to keep you out of all the BS? Hire security and keep you away from the nonsense so you can just keep getting your money, keep making music, keep producing content for the public, and keep your revenue stream keep flowing in, man, so you can live comfortably and live good and live the opposite of what you were living in prison. And unfortunately, he's back in that situation. So, I mean, we'll see what comes of that, you know what I mean? But again, man, I think it's a certain decision making, when you come out, man. Yes, I understand. It's a lot of individuals that were killed, and they didn't have a weapon on them or whatever. But again, if there's a sense of paranoia, keep security around you. And then also, you don't have to be parlaying in Chicago. Now, I know he just got out of prison, so he probably got to stay in Cook County. Probably got to stay in Cook County or whatever. But at the same time, you can move to some other areas where the nonsense, stay away from the nonsense, stay put up away from all the stuff and all the drama and all the extra BS, and stay isolated in your situation until you can actually move out. You go, of course, you go do your shows, you can go visit your people or whatever, but don't put yourself in a situation where you feel like, oh my God, I gotta go and be armed like this. Or if you feel like you gotta have them guns, again, keep those security with you. You ain't gonna be no sucker. That ain't no sucker move. That's being smart, man. And furthermore, man, like, no matter what these fans may crave, because everybody, like, if he wasn't rapping on the drill stuff, some of the fans wouldn't want to hear him if he ain't dissing or whatever. Man, you can still get love, and you can still get admiration if you just rap about your life. and you can rap about some past antics that you got into without getting heavily involved in street politics and dissing again. You don't got to do that, right? Because at the end of the day, these streets don't love nobody. These streets don't love, they're not loyal to nobody. They don't love nobody. I say it all the time. The streets will watch your sister get older and want to have sex with her. The streets will watch your son get older and want to suck him into the street life that could potentially lead to his demise or destruction, right? The streets will see your little brother walking around aimlessly, right, and try to take advantage of him in any type of way, right? The streets will see your cousin the streets will say your mama drugs, right, and try to violate her in any type of way. So ain't no love to these streets, so there should be no loyalty to the streets either, right? Loyalty to try to keep up street antics, right? If you're not profiting off of that lifestyle no more, leave that alone. You know what I mean? Fly straight. If you're not profiting off of that and engaging in that lifestyle no more, just make the music, keep it cool. And that's for both sides of the fence in Chicago and the Chicago rap, man. Because I enjoy the music from all the young brothers. I wish I can enjoy the music the same way some of the other people can. Because unfortunately in Chicago, we can't be playing some of this music where they dissing certain dudes and we riding through certain neighborhoods. We can't. We can listen to it in the comfort of our own home or whatever, and at a party when we out of town, because we enjoy the music, but the dissing make it hard for us to really vibe anywhere we want to go within the city, right? But again, man, you know, hopefully from this situation, if Lil J gets out of this situation soon, if he does, hopefully he learns from this and learns that, hey, ain't no love out here. You don't want this system to make an example out of you, because they are looking to make an example out of you, right? We black folks, black men got it hard. Black people in general got a hard enough time as it is trying to elevate it and get to the highest level in life. Don't make it harder on yourself by getting into the system and staying in there, man. Stop the cycle, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.